divided by 2, whereas the quantity in the weak market is just 1 minus the price, right? So quantity falls more quickly with price in the weak market than it does in the strong market. Now let's assume that there's 0 marginal cost of production. And notice that, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when we did monopoly pricing, the optimal price is to go halfway, when there's no cost of production, under linear demand, is to go halfway down the demand curve, right? So halfway down this demand curve is 1, right? Because it takes 2 to kill this demand curve off, and 0, yeah, so halfway down it is 1. Halfway down the weak demand curve is 1/2, right? Now what is the total demand if we can't discriminate in this market, Kevin?
Well, you would just add those two.
Yep. So what does that give us?
2 minus 3 halves B.
Exactly. But that's only true when the price is less than 1, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because for prices above 1, this market is dead. And then we just get the demand in this market, right? Okay. So the optimal price, if you were going to be on the first segment of demand, right, that is where this is your demand curve, would be to just go halfway down this demand curve, right? So if we're going to charge a price so that some people in the weak market get to have the good, we're going to charge halfway down this demand curve. What's halfway down this demand curve? Well, all the way down it is 2/3 times 2, which is 4/3, right? And halfway down it would be 2/3, right? So if we're going to charge in the sort of first part, we would charge a price that's equal to 2/3. And what's the price we would charge if we only charged in the strong market? Well, it's the same as we were doing there before. That would be just $1, right? Okay. So, Justin, can you compare the profits that you would earn in those two cases? Which one's greater?
When the cases being prices less than 1, prices greater than 1?
Well, the two cases are that we either charge 2/3 and we charge to the full pooled market where both people, some of both groups will get access to the good, or we can charge the optimal price to this group 1, in which case nobody in this market's going to buy it, and only people in this market will buy it. So which one will earn us higher profits? Can you figure that out, Justin? Well, what's the demand if we charge 2/3?
For the labor market, it would just be 1 minus 1/3, so 2/3.
Well, remember that if we charge a price that's below 1, then we get this total pooled demand, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, okay, so that's 1.
1, and then how much do we earn per unit?
1, because there's no marginal cost.
Well, 2/3, right? Because that's the price we're charging, right? So the total profit we make here is 2/3, right? How much do we make if we just charge in the strong market?
You only charge this.
So if we choose a price of 1, so there's no demand in the weak market, and we just have this.
Half of that. Wait.
Well, the optimal price here was 1, right?
Yeah.
And so what is the quantity that we sell?
Half of the total quantity.
1/2. 1/2, right? And then how much do we make per unit?
2/3. So
No, $1, right? Because we were charging $1 now, right? And so that makes us a total profit of 1/2, right? And 1/2 is less than 2/3. right? So that means that it was optimal to charge P star equals 2/3, not 1/2. Not 1, right? Okay, so Joe, where's Joe? Joe, is discrimination here a good or a bad thing?
Well, the output was the same in both cases. They're both 1 unit,
Yeah?
but in one, the price was lower in the second market, meaning that the consumers would get to keep more of their consumer surplus.
Yep, you're on the right track. You're very close. So why, you think that the discrimination made things less efficient?
Yes.
Yeah, so why, what was exactly the reallocation of the sales that made it less efficient?
The people in the weak market didn't purchase anything, and in the strong, they purchased. Sorry. So when at the 2/3 price in the weak market, there is 1/3 of it goes into the weak market.
Yeah.
And 2/3, and then so therefore 2/3 went to the strong market. But
Yeah.
under the $1 price, all of the full quantity went to the strong.
No, so that was comparing the two things under no discrimination. But I'm asking, is the non-discriminatory outcome where we do 2/3 in both markets better or worse than the outcome where we charge $1 in the strong market and 50 cents in the weak market? You're right that both lead to the same output, right? Because this one led to 1/2 and this one led to 1/2.
Yeah.
Whereas this one led to 1, and so the total output's the same. But do you think that the discrimination makes things better or worse in terms of welfare?
Would it be for total welfare, it would be better, but for consumer welfare, it would be less, because there's less, like we saw in the first degree price discrimination.
Well,
less law.
that seems intuitive, but is that actually what's going on in this particular example? Kevin, what do you think?
So in the case where there is price discrimination,
Yeah?
you would get less consumer surplus or total surplus, because there your demand curve has that. So it looks like
Yeah.
basically like it'll kink like that.
Yeah?
And then if you just look at the total area under the portion that goes down, that'll be less than if it wasn't kinked, which is what happens when you just set the price to 2/3.
Yeah?
And therefore the total surplus is a little bit less.
Yeah, so that's right. We can do the calculation for that. So in particular, what is the social surplus without discrimination? Well, we have 2/3, which is the number of units that are sold, times what am I trying to figure out here? I want to compute the consumer surplus underneath this, right? So if 2/3 is the price, then if we ask what is the size of the triangle, right? Well, we know that it's 2/3 along the base of it, right? Because that's the quantity. And then the height of it is 2, because that's the maximum willingness to pay that anyone has, minus 2/3. Ooh, no, that's not quite right.
Yeah, 1 is the base.
No. One is the base. One is the base. Let's draw this. Oop.
The price you pick
2/3 was going to be halfway up the y-axis. So your triangle's that, the height is going to be 2/3.
Let's draw this. So if the price is high, we just serve the strong market. And then we go like that, right? And then this is 2 up here. So we have that triangle plus that area there.
Should it be think the other way because the slope of the strong market is less steep as the slope is the weak market? And the slope of the weak market.
No, because now we're adding the two of them together. And so we get the reduction in quantity coming from both of the two of them, right? So it's minus 3/2 p, right? So one simple way to do this is we can just figure out the consumer surplus in each of the two markets,
Yeah,
right?
Negative 3/2 p is a steeper slope than minus 1/2 p.
Yep. And so at low prices, we have a steeper slope with respect to price. Oh, so it should go like that, you're saying. I see. You're right. You're right. Why don't we just figure out the consumer surplus in each of the two markets? So in the strong market, right, the price is 2/3, so the quantity is 2/3, right?
The quantity is 1.
1.
The height should be 4/3.
No, it's quantity in the strong market. If the price is 2/3, right, then the quantity is 1 minus 1/3, right?
Can you just do it like in the combined market?
Well, but the problem is that then we're going to have to do two different areas here, right? Because we're charging a price that's like here. And so then we're going to have to like do this part here and that part up there.
But the combined market is will have both the strong market surplus in addition with the weak market surplus. So all we need to do is find the upper left-hand triangle along the 2 minus 3.
No, but that's not quite right because, again, look, we've got, you were right about the, so it looks like that. But then we're charging a price here. And that requires us to not look at this demand curve's continuation, but then to realize that the demand curve becomes more steep as we get to higher prices. When we get above the price 1, it kinks and it goes up like this.
So you're talking about the discriminating one right now?
No, this is without discrimination. We still have this pooled demand curve, but the demand curve has this weird shape, right? So we have to look at each of the two submarkets. So in the strong market, the surplus that I'm earning from that market, right, is, okay, so that demand curve goes up to a price of 2, and the maximum quantity is 1. So it looks like that. If we charge a price of 2/3, then the quantity is 2/3, right? The maximum price anyone's willing to pay is 2 minus 2/3. That's 4/3, right? Times 1/2. So the total surplus that we get from the strong market is